Now, in this next video in the series, we are going to be getting into some customization of Adempiere. So if you want to follow along, go ahead and go into Postgres into your Adempiere 360 file, and we're going to execute an SQL statement. Let's make that a little larger. Now I have this copy and pasted directly from the cookbook, so this should successful right there. Let's see. Yes, the code seems okay. And what we're going to be doing is creating a table called c.mom for minutes of meeting. And one important factor for every single table is that for the primary key we need the table name and then underscore ID. Another important feature is the AD underscore client ID, AD underscore org.id is active, created by, updated, and updated by. And then we have some of our extra tables right there. So we're going to go ahead on into our schema Adempiere. And as you can see, we have our 724th table, C underscore mom right there. And we can, of course, view the properties of it to see the different columns that we have, which are all right here with the required ones here, and the other that we added on to make it a minutes of meeting detail. So we're going to go ahead and open up Postgres here. So go into the C drive, Adempiere, and run Adempiere. And in order for customization, we are not going to log in as the standard garden admin. We are instead going to log in as system and as a system administrator. And this will give us much more options that we need for the customization. So over here we have the application dictionary. We just have a shortcut right there so that we always have those available. What we want to go into is the table, and as we can see already, all of Postgres's tables are already in there. So we want to make a new record, and we have to have the direct address from Adempiere. So we're going to have to name this C underscore mom, and the name of it will be minutes of meeting. And in order to get all of our columns in here that we already have from the C underscore mom table, we're going to go ahead and create the columns from the database, make sure it's user maintained, and as we can see, we have all of these that come up and are able for our use, which we can see right here. So we have all these columns loaded for us. Now each column is separately customizable. So for some, we may want to change them. For instance, we have end time, which has date and time. We have is active, name, participants, start date. In this case, our reference would be different than what it already has. Instead of a date and time, we simply need the calendar date for this. So we're going to change that to date, and that should suffice for that. We can see all the different values here and the different references that they respectively have. And then we're going to go into Window tab field, and as we can see, these are all the windows that are available to us in Adempiere already. For example, we can do the shipment to a customer, shipment received. We can do a sales order, which is very important. but we're going to make our own window now. So we're going to go ahead and name this minutes of meeting. And within the window minutes of meeting, we're going to have separate tabs. So since we only have made one table so far, we're just going to have one named mom. And this table we can directly reference our C_mom table. Minutes of meeting right there. Tab level is 1 because it's alone by itself. Don't have any columns to link. So what we want to do is create the fields. And here we are, all the active fields that we will have inside of the mom tab. And in the field sequence, we can edit the order by simply dragging and dropping or using the arrows right here. And we can view the separate fields as well in the field section of it with the column name and the display length and many other features, including we can make them read only or on the same line, which we will view in later videos. And now that we have our window set up, we can go ahead and save it and exit out of this. And now that we have that window set up, we also want to make it a menu item. All these are subsets of menu items. So how to do that, we're going to go into System Admin, the General Rules, the System Rules, and finally the Menu. And as you can see, we have our separate menu items over here on the left that we can see, for example, Access Audit. But what we want to do is we want to make a new menu item. So we'll name this Minutes of Meeting, and it's simply Minutes of Meeting. And the action for this is going to be a window. And the window, we can see what we made from before. It will show up in this drop down right here in Minutes of Meeting. So we'll see that after we save that, it will show up right down here when we standardly log in the next time. So I'm going to go ahead and log back in. And after logging back in, we can see that we have our nice menu item, Minutes of Meeting, right here. We can see that we can make a new record, expand that, and we have all this information to fill in, including our end time, which has time involved, and our start date, which does not, which we customized before. So that is it for this video, and we'll see you next time.